Welcome to Plot 27. The town of Annieville, South Carolina is awaiting the arrival of a Category 5 storm, Hurricane Henry. 2 hours and 14 minutes before landfall. Dakota is a young woman suffering from agoraphobia. While the town's residents prepare to evacuate, she refuses to leave the house of her recently deceased mother. Meanwhile, 3 siblings, Dee, Ron and Will, are swimming in a lake despite the approaching storm. Not long after, their adoptive father Billy shows up and tells them to leave immediately. Annieville meat packing plant, 1 hour and 22 minutes before landfall. A pregnant woman named Lisa is getting ready to leave work. She runs into Bob, a truck driver who can't leave yet because he still has work to do. On the way home, Lisa gets a call from her mother Claire, who angrily complains that Lisa's fiancé left her while she was pregnant. Claire then becomes worried that Lisa hasn't evacuated yet and tells her the highway has been shut down due to flooding. Dale Edwards, a marine researcher and Dakota's uncle, is at the harbor with his colleague Brian. Dale explains that all the fish south of Bermuda are fleeing north to escape Hurricane Henry. He couldn't tag them all because he spotted 6 bull sharks being carried in by the storm. The harbor master Greg arrives with a report stating that Hurricane Henry has reached Category 4. After seeing the report, Dale immediately calls Dakota, but she still refuses to leave. He begs her to evacuate and promises to pick her up in 2 hours. 22 minutes before landfall. Seeing many residents evacuating, Ron asks if they should leave too, but Billy insists it's just a regular storm. Dakota watches the news reporting that Hurricane Henry has now reached Category 5. She also hears about 2 swimmers being attacked by a large shark at the beach. She then watches an old childhood video with her parents, while Billy remains convinced their house is safe. Billy and his wife Rachel adopted Dee and her brothers from an orphanage mainly to receive government incentives. At the harbor, a TV reporter named Joe interviews Dale, who is surprised when Joe asks about shark attacks at the beach. The sea level continues to rise as Hurricane Henry approaches, and Lisa grows anxious as her car is running low on fuel. The hurricane finally hits, devastating Annieville. Authorities advise residents who didn't evacuate to write their personal information on their arms with permanent marker, so their bodies can be identified after the storm. Lisa encounters Bob, who tells her to turn back because a tree has fallen across the road. But as floodwaters rush in, she accelerates and drives through it. Bob tries to rescue Lisa after she gets trapped, but a massive wave crashes into his truck. Dakota flees after seeing the floodwaters surge, while Billy remains strangely calm despite the storm hitting. Lisa's car gets stuck in a tree, but she survives. Bob's tanker truck crashes into a statue and ruptures, releasing animal blood into the floodwaters. The blood quickly spreads, attracting sharks into the flooded downtown area. Scott and Jimmy hear Lisa screaming for help. Scott attempts to rescue her and tells Jimmy to grab a cutter from the back of the truck, but something suddenly drags Jimmy underwater. Scott is horrified to see a shark devour him. Dakota sees Lisa and Scott in danger. Meanwhile, Bob regains consciousness only to be attacked by a shark. Scott tries to escape but is also killed. Dale and Brian worry about Dakota as the floodwaters nearly submerge the entire town. They ask Joe for help rescuing her. Billy and Rachel go to retrieve snorkels from the car, unaware that a shark is swimming nearby. Dee, Ron, and will witness the shark attack and kill their adoptive parents. Lisa is still trapped on a branch, and Dakota hesitates to help due to sharks surrounding the area. Lisa reveals that she is pregnant. Hearing this, Dakota finally decides to help. After grabbing a knife from the kitchen, Dakota leaves the house and successfully rescues Lisa. Meanwhile, Dale discovers that a tagged great white shark they had been tracking is now in Annieville. The shark is named Nellie, and she's pregnant. At the same time, Dee and her brothers panic as a shark enters their house. Dakota panics when Lisa suddenly goes into labor. She climbs onto the roof and signals for help, realizing the baby is coming soon. With roads completely flooded, Dale and the others switch to traveling by boat. Inside the house, 2 sharks are swimming, and Billy is somehow still alive despite losing his left arm. Seeing Lisa in pain, Dakota pushes past her fear and goes to retrieve Scott's boat. Dale explains that Nellie is larger than their boat, while bull sharks are even more aggressive than great whites. Ron becomes angry after realizing Billy and Rachel planned to abandon them earlier. Billy tries to convince Ron to get the snorkels, but they argue after the siblings discover he had been keeping government money for himself. Dee kicks Billy into the water, where a bull shark devours him. Once the shark leaves, Ron heads to the basement to find weapons, staying alert for other sharks. With rainfall reaching nearly half a meter, access to several towns is completely cut off. Dale explains that bull sharks dislike larger sharks, and certain electrical currents can disorient them. As water levels keep rising, Lisa goes into full labor while the house is on the verge of collapsing. Ron gathers meat and a box of dynamite. Dakota retrieves the boat just as her house collapses. Fortunately, Lisa survives and gives birth in the water. The sharks grow more aggressive due to the scent of blood. Lisa grabs a piece of wood and manages to fend off a bull shark. As another shark charges toward Lisa and her baby, Dakota rescues them. Meanwhile, Ron and the others lure sharks back into the house, planning to blow them up with dynamite. Dakota tries to get Lisa and her baby to safety, but a bull shark slams into the boat. Surrounded by sharks, they are in serious danger, until Dale arrives and drives the bull sharks away using electrical currents. One bull shark remains and prepares to attack, but Nellie suddenly appears and devours it. At the same time, Ron and the others survive after successfully blowing up a shark. Lisa calls her mother to tell her she's safe and has given birth. As they leave the destroyed town of Annieville, Greg discovers that another storm is forming, and the movie ends. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for the next movie recap.